Most traders don't lose because of the charts. Most of us lose because of how we see money. And this is going to be a topic on trading psychology, okay, guys? Because understanding this is going to change your perception on how you view the markets. Also, it's going to change your thought patterns on how to look at money so you could actually sustain your profits, how you could start building long term. Because when most of us say we struggle with psychology, right, it's very vague. So it's like, what part of the psychology is your problem, right? Is it risk management? Is it taking profits? Is it breaking even? Is it over leveraging, right? Is it not knowing the market? So it's very vague. But I'm gonna try to hit all topics for you guys, right? This is a very, very big concern in the trading space. And hopefully this video does help you guys. Could you do me a huge favor? Just like this video so other traders like yourself could have access to this information. Also share this with a trader too, right? However, most of you guys are probably successful too. Put in the comments, what was your transformation? What was the mindset shift you had to go through in order to become profitable, right? Also talk about your struggles, because there's probably somebody else that is going through exactly what you're going through and they was able to fix that problem, okay? So we're going to start it off, right? We've been trained by society to chase fast results. And this is one of the biggest problems that we deal with, because we're understanding we want quick profits, we want quick validation, we want the car, we want the lifestyle, right? But that mindset, when you come into trading wanting these things, is what destroys us in the long run. Because most of us are in this trading space because, yes, we all want more money. But the problem is we don't understand money, right? But this is exactly what we're trading on a daily, day-to-day basis. And we don't have the psychology around it. We don't understand it. We don't know how to use it. We don't risk manage. We don't put our risk management behind it. We think we get, we spend. We get, we spend. Our mindset when it comes to chasing money is how society teaches us. If we continue to act like the majority of society, we will continue to go through the same problems that everybody go through. What is the problems people go through? If we have the statistics that say majority of people are broke, majority of people are losing, majority of the trading space, 95% of traders losing, it's because we all have the same mindset. And that's the mindset that we are all born with. So it's not like somebody else is more favorable than the other, but it comes from separating yourself. It comes from doing things that are different. And this is where the mindset for you guys is going to start, right? Because even with me, when I first started trading, when I used to enter a position, I used to always think about the profit, how much money I was going to make from this trade. Oh man, if I put my take profit here, man, this could turn to a $3,000 trade. I would enter, and then I would lose, right? And then when that loss was so massive, right, I would end up blowing my account. I would end up over leveraging, because we're trained to just think about the reward. That's the dopamine. We're just thinking about the reward. That's the addiction of trading. How we can make that shift, right? This one thing that changed my whole career was learning how to protect my account, understanding how much I was willing to risk before I entered the trade. The reward is extra. The game plan is about staying in this long term. Winning consistently, right, is not the long term game. The long term game is protection, is risk management, is the stuff that people ain't gonna tell you because it's boring. It doesn't spike your dopamine. It doesn't make you addictive. It's the stuff that goes against what majority of society teaches on a day-to-day basis, is patience, risk management, not chasing, developing a plan. This is all the stuff that changed my entire trading career. This is why I could trade full time. This is why I could do this for a living, is because I just reversed the way that I think, right? What they want us to think about is doubling our profits. That's why we always see those YouTube videos, turn 100 to $1,000, turn 1,000 to 100,000. Let me turn 100 to a million. That's what we all are following, chasing. So, but if that was possible, How come nobody is living that lifestyle besides the person that is sending the video, right? So we have to think more logically. This is where the unlocks will start coming in place, right? So what does the smart investors think like? Well, we hear stories from Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, even Ray Dalio, right? They don't build their wealth from adrenaline. They don't build their wealth from doubling down and making crazy risky bets. What we see today, doubling down on Bitcoin, doubling down in the stock market. They build their wealth from mastering control, mastering themselves, understanding what to risk in, understanding how much they was going to risk, understanding everything, controlling themselves. We don't see a lot of teaching out there that shows you how to control yourself, right? So this is one of the things that we have to learn to switch in our minds is transforming yourself from thinking human logic, earthly logic, is start just transforming that. I'm going to say it. It's biblical. It's all biblical because when we look at earth, we look at human logic, quick, fast, easy, right? Anger, hatred, self idolizing. Money is the goal. What we look at biblical is all the opposites: patience, love, care, discipline, right? Being wise. Society today, they're not even talking about being smart and wise. But biblical, it's all of these things. And the reason why we're failing is because instead of moving to this side, we're in earth side. And when we're looking at how society wants us today, they want you to stay in that rabbit race. They want you to continue to go from success, poor, success, poor. They don't want you to sustain wealth because then you're not going to need them. So if they teach you how to be irrational, to be impulsive, they know they got you by the balls, right? Because they know you're going to continue in a cycle. But once you transform and start thinking of things differently, that's when you're able to sustain your wealth. That's when you're able to get to that next step. That's when your transformation comes. But it all comes from acknowledgement. Like you watching this video, right? It's being direct to the things that can help you transform. That's what it's all about, right? Because if you're not being direct on the things that you watch on a day-to-day basis, right, you're going to continue to fall for what society and how they want you to think and look and act. And this is why you're not seeing transformation on yourself, because you're sticking with comfort and being entertained and those quick profits, that quick dopamine. And at the end, you don't get nothing from it. Okay. So the transformation, right? Impulsiveness, this is what leads to greed. Greed leads to bad risk management. This is why we have to control our impulsiveness, because it all leads to these things and it impacts our trading. When you're greedy, you're going to have bad risk management. You're not thinking about the consequences. You're just thinking about the reward. There are so many people out there that you are in profits in your trades, and that greed don't even let you to take profit on money you never seen before. That's earthly thinking, right? That is how society wants us to be. This is why we have to control that greed. When you're in profit, take it. A win is a win, right? Try to transform that logic. When we have bad risk management, right? One outcome, this is the outcome that leads to your destruction. This is if you don't, it don't matter what you learn, guys. If you have bad risk management, it don't matter who you learn from, it don't matter what you try to do, you're always going to lose, because all it takes is one loss. Then everything is wiped clean. This is why we have to focus on our risk management. You're not just fighting the markets, because we love to think this is how society wants us to think. We're only fighting the markets. The market's against us. You're fighting your own conditions. You're fighting your mindset. You're fighting your transformation. You're fighting your outcome. It's you. It's a battle between you and yourself, right? The rewards are there, but it's not for the person who you are today. That reward is for who you can become. So you have to seek that transformation, all right? So the goal is to break the pattern. I want you guys to wake up, break this pattern, transform. Society taught us looking rich before you actually are, right? Impress people who are already broke. We already know that by now. You're impressing people by People that's you probably have a better life than right now, and you're acting out trying to impress somebody that's just not important to you. You got to change that. Everything when it comes to trading is just the exact opposite of what we've been doing so far. What we're being taught is the exact opposite, right? We have to start thinking long term. And this is what requires patience and discipline. And it's not entertaining. It's not. But when you start thinking long term, this is where you could be in the game for the next 10 to 20 years, right? Because your wealth is not going to reward your emotions, but it's going to reward your principles. Do you have principles? What are the things that you do every single day to keep you in check? I guarantee a lot of you guys that are struggling with this don't have that. This is why we don't seek that transformation, right? So, what I want you guys to do, I want to help you guys become better traders, but in general, be better as a human for yourself, right? Be better in your personal life, because when you can better your mindset, who you are, your character, that's just going to help you digest the information that I teach every day. This is what's going to help you see things and do the opposite, right? Right now, when it feels so impulsive, it feels like you can never stop it. But when you start gaining the wisdom, when you start seeking that transformation, this is where you're going to start looking at things differently. This is how I could help you guys, right? Because I like to focus on discipline. Protect your downside. I want you to stop trying to look successful and actually start becoming it. That's the goal, right? Because if you look at social media, that's all that happens is looking successful. And the goal is, what are the steps that you're doing every single day to actually become it? And this is what I teach every single day inside my private group, right? We go over the markets. We focus on the important things of the markets. We work on timing, discipline. All of this stuff is what changes us and our character. This is why I love my community, and we're more like a family, right? Because when you can start bettering and transforming yourself, it all starts with this first. It's not going to come by trading. It's going to come by you changing first. Then you're going to see that reward in your trading account. That's the goal. If we do it backwards, you're going to end up in that cycle. When you change how you look at society, when you change at how you look at money, when you change at looking before you enter a trade, you say, let me focus on my risk management. When you start doing that, that's when things compound. That's when you're able to take a loss and it doesn't disregard the 30 wins you had in the past. This is the transformation a lot of us has to work on, because nothing else matters if we don't look at how we change our view when it comes to money, or our view of how we look at society. Because if you continue to look at it from society's lens, if you look at social media, you see people over leveraging their accounts, and oh, this person made $100,000, and you have a $500 account and you're trading a 5 lot, you're gonna blow that account, right? So if you're not being direct about the stuff that you're looking at, you're going to end up in that cycle. And I want you guys to change. Okay. Hopefully this is helpful. Again, guys, please give me a like so other traders like you could digest this information. And let's change this trading industry one person, one day at a time, right? Because you could have a life where you could escape the rabbit hole, where you don't have to work a job that you hate, where you could be successful doing the right things. You could be successful not messing people over. You could be successful and teach people the right stuff and nobody look at you as being a scammer, right? Because when you're able to transform people's lives, this is what it's about. This is real teaching, not just let me give you a signal, not just buy this course and then that's it. You figure it out on your own. Real transformation starts with community. Real transformation starts with eliminating society's logic, think biblical logic, right? But it's up to you guys. It depends on how bad do you want it. If you want to make that change now, the next 5 years of your life will be totally different. If you procrastinate it, who you are today, you're just going to be that same version in the next 5 years or worse. You're not going to be any better if you don't change the way you think. Hopefully, this helps you guys. I love you guys. Peace.